I'm going to keep this video really short, so I'm not going to say anything that you actually don't need to remember, so that's why it's short. Now, I'm here on the summit of Ben Nevis, which is the highest point in Great Britain, and thousands of people every year come up here. They follow the track up and down, no problems. But what happens if you come up here and the weather is so bad that you can't see the track? How do you get off the summit? So all you need to do is you need to remember three numbers: 231 for 150 meters, and then 282. It'd be a really good idea to write those down before you set off. Those three numbers mean that from the trig point, you walk on a bearing of 231 for 150 meters, you then turn onto a bearing of 282, you walk down and you're safe. I'm making this video in 2024, and there is virtually no declination in the UK at the moment. Obviously, if you're watching this video in a few years later, you may need to adjust for declination because those are grid bearings. If you know how to use a compass and walk on a bearing, and also how to pace count, then that's the end of this video. 231 for 150 and then 282. If you don't know how to use a compass and how to pace count, then I'll show you how to do it. This isn't a navigation lesson, this is just what you need to get from this trig point off this mountain safely. The first thing to say is that you are going to need a compass, and if you haven't brought the compass with you, then all I can suggest is sit down, stay where you are, put all your clothes on and just wait until the weather picks up. People will tell you need an expensive compass like this. You don't. Any sort of compass will do, as long as you know how to use it. So all you're going to do, hold the compass in front of you, rotate the dial until 231 is at the top of the dial, which is there. So it's pointing straight up, and then you're simply going to rotate your whole body until the needle is directly over the arrow, and you're now facing on a bearing of 231, which is that direction. So we've got our bearing of 231, and to follow it, all we do, hold the compass in front of you, making sure that the needle is over the arrow inside the dial, and look for something directly along your bearing. Walk to that, stop, look for something else along your bearing, and walk to that. The weather conditions up here on the summit of Nevis today they're not too bad actually. Normally it's a lot worse than this. So, you know, I can't actually see 150 meters, so I'm going to have to do it in stages. So that's how we follow our bearing. Next, how do we know when we've walked 150 meters? All you're going to do is you're going to count your paces. Now, they're double paces, so every time your left foot hits the floor, that's 1, and then it would be 2. Or it could be your right foot, it doesn't matter which one you use, as long as you use the same thing. I'll demonstrate it. So here we go, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm counting my left paces, or I could count my right paces. As I said, it makes no difference. Now, for every 100 meters, I normally do 64 paces. But if you don't know what yours is, for 150 meters, you're going to count 100 paces. It's not going to be exact because everybody's got different strides. But if you don't know what yours is, 100 paces is near enough. That'll get you approximately 150 meters. So, you're going to walk 231 bearing, you're going to count for 100 paces, and then you're going to stop. Then you're going to turn the dial until 282 is at the top of your compass. You're going to rotate your body, find something again along your bearing, and then you're going to go to that, and then you're going to stop, and then you're going to do it again. And you keep doing that until you pick up the footpath. Okay, that is how to get off the summit of Ben Nevis.